Hang on. Thank you, Christina. I was muted on my VIP community. I'm yapping away. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Hey, my question is, where can you expand? If you want to expand, what is it going to take? Is it going to take more energy? Absolutely. Is it going to take more focus? Absolutely. Are you going to have to be able to do more, see more, be more, have more? Did I say see more? Feed me, see more. For those of you that are older, there was a what was the I just forgot what that place is called. Anyways, that movie. So what happens when you stand on your own 2 feet? A lot of the times we have conversations, a lot of times we talk to people, a lot of times we think about things and we say things, and we really want to work on our muscles. We want to work on all of this stuff. The reason maybe some of you are tired, chronic tiredness, is because you just don't have enough energy. Maybe, do you know where, maybe possibly where your energy comes from? If you look at it, when you plug your phone in, right, what do they say? More people will run around to find a charger when their battery's going dead on their phone than they will to take care of their own body. We watched a little conversation. If you've not seen the movie, the Earthing movie, pretty great movie this morning. We watched that in meditation this morning. And meditation in the mornings, it's about just becoming a little bit more centered, becoming more aware of the things we might not normally look at on our own. It talks about making sure you get your feet on the earth. Some of you have heard this. Some of you know this. Some of you understand the power of it. Some of you understand you've got little EMF shields on your phones. You've got all of these different things in different places. And the question I have for you is do you believe that energy is? Do you believe that if every cell in your body has 1.1 volts, 1.5 volts per cell, 30 trillion cells, you got 30 trillion volts more, right? If you got 1.5, but 30 trillion volts in your body, you got enough energy in your body to power your local municipality. Think about that for a second. You have enough energy in your body. You got enough voltage. Now you don't have enough amps, but you got enough voltage to power your city. How could you be tired? How many of you have ever interfered? Some of you are not old enough of this and will never have the joy of dealing with rabbit ears on a TV and being tinfoil and holding the thing. And as you move the antenna, the signal gets good, and then you walk away. How many times have you ever said, for those of us who are a little older, ever said to your brother or sister, just stand there, just stand there? If you get an AM radio, an old AM radio, if you get an AM radio and you put it on a staticky station, so it's not really doesn't have a signal, and you take that AM radio and you move it near outlets in your house, you'll find some outlets who maybe have a bad connection because the wiring will go, it's not a bad connection, it's just a lot of static, a lot of energy leaking into the home. You'll find out that the AM radio will go, it'll change its frequency, its sound, because of the energy that it's picking up from around it. Put it up near, if you have any fluorescent lights in your house. The reason that I'm saying this is that a lot of the things that we want to do in 2023 are going to require us to be healthier, to require us to be more focused, to require us to have more energy to say yes, and a lot more energy to say no to a lot of other things. And the reason that we're limited, the reason that we fall short, we fall behind, we were tired all the time, is because we're really not grounded. We've got so many things that are bombarding us. The screens that I have in front of me, I have 3 screens in front of me. I've got the cell phone, I've got a monitor here and a monitor there. I've got 2 lights that are shining at me. All of this stuff, I don't want to say attacks our body, but it invades our body in such a way that if we don't have a way to cleanse it out, thank gosh you don't have to think about going poo, or you got to decide what leaves your body. Did he just talk about poo? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's Thursday. It's poo day. So what's one of the ways you can fix this, Sean? Go find a place and just get your feet on the ground. I promise you, the challenge is that a lot of times people only do it once. They'll do it once. They'll do it twice. If you've ever gone to the beach, the negative ions when the water crashes, that's what you love about the beach. Getting your feet in the sand, that's what you love about the beach. Your body finally detoxes. It recharges. It energizes. And it's like this peace. It's this tired that's not tired, but it's this great sleep. It's all of this stuff. You ever fall asleep on the grass and just like, wow. So what I'm saying is about the level of expansion that you want. You're going to need more energy. You're going to need more energy. I promise you. You've got your phones, you've got your everything, you've got all of this stuff that's bombarding you. I'm not saying that to get rid of it. We kind of have to live in that society. But do you have a way to discharge all of this stuff that's not good in your body, the energy that's not good in your body? Drop an E in the chat if you've got energy in your body that you'd rather not have in your body. An old story, an old belief, an old trauma. All of that is energy. And if that energy exists in your body, how are you going to expand if you don't have the ability to expel that energy that's not allowing you space for better energy? Does that make sense? You won't hear this stuff at leadership conferences because they're too busy charging forward, thinking that more and more and more. Doing more doesn't always get you more. It gets you more exhausted, doesn't get you more what you want, gets you more frustrated, doesn't get you more what you want. So sometimes we literally have to go out and put our feet on the ground, right? Stand on your own 2 feet. Well, it's hard if you're not connected to the earth. So you can go Google some of this stuff. It's called the Schumann resonance. And if you're not in cycle with the Schumann resonance is speeding up a little bit. The magnetic North Pole is actually rotating underneath the earth because of the magma core. So there's all of this science, and if you don't know it, that's okay. You don't need to know it. There's other people that do know it. My cousin knows it. My cousin can give you all of the information if you know how to ask the question. His name is Google. You can go talk to him, and he'll give you all kinds of information, more than you ever thought possible. The reality is can you take time and get your feet on the ground? Not in shoes, not just in socks are okay, but barefoot would be better. And it's not that you got to go on a walkabout. If you want to expand your essence, if you want to expand, listen, here's the other thing. You ready for this? You ready for this? This one's going to this one will probably make you want to swirl your eyes a little bit. If we understand all of this, pay attention, listen carefully. If we follow all of this, if we listen to all of this, if we understand all of this and truly understand it, if we go back to the core of the core, if we go back to the beginning of the beginning, and we go back to the universal laws that say energy is. If energy is, then the question has to be, how do I exchange my energy? Right? Zig Ziglar said it best. Zig said, sales is a transference of enthusiasm. If we look at the word enthusiasm, in theos, the God within, you're transferring your energy, your enthusiasm, your God within to somebody else. And if they don't receive that, we feel it's an objection. We feel we get disappointed, we get rejected. How many of you are rejecting the atmospheric energy of the earth, not by choice, by design? All of this stuff coming in, there's no place for you to go recharge. How do you recharge? You call it sleep. Well, you're sleeping 600 feet away from the ground, or 500 feet away from the ground, or 5 feet away from the ground. You're sleeping on a comfy bed. Some of you've got coil springs in your bed. Some of you've got electric beds and motors and all of this stuff. None of it wrong. None of it wrong. None of it wrong. I'm not saying go out and get a teepee and sleep on the ground. What I am saying is that think about yesterday, just yesterday. At what point, listen carefully, I know this is going to sound crazy. At what point did your feet touch the earth? Not the concrete, although it's okay. Stone, okay. The earth. Crazy thought, crazy thought. Well, Sean, there's no earth around me. Would you say that everybody's a little uptight around you? I'm serious. Just 5 minutes. It could be longer. 5 minutes could be longer, though. Go 5 minutes and think about what it could do for you. I promise you. Now, here's the hard part. Well, I did it for a day and it didn't really work. I did it for a second. It really didn't work. I've had people who take their feet who have allergies. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I can't make, treat, claim, recommend anything. They dug a little, they dug a hole. Sadhguru says this. So they dug a hole, buried their feet in it, and their allergies kind of got better. Get on the ground just a little bit. Don't have to go walk about. Well, that's crazy. I don't want people to see my feet or this, that, or the other. Listen, these are all clues. If you really want to expand yourself, if you want to have connection with other people, if you want to have a grounding with other people, if you want to be able to move yourself to the next level, if you want to expand your business, you want to deepen your relationships, I promise you, on the ground. Since I've been out here at the ranch, so I've moved out here to the ranch probably in February, March of last year. So I've been out here quite a bit, and I get to go walk on the stones and on the dirt and on the grass. We have outdoor showers, and I take a shower outside every day. It's going to be 1 degree in the morning, so that'll be fun. But I've got heaters and we've got stuff, and so it'll be okay. It's not like I'm part of the Polar Bear Club. We got hot water, but I get to stand on this stone every day in the shower, and it's got some bumps and ridges and everything else. I got to tell you, I had some challenges with my feet. I don't know. I don't have those challenges anymore. I'm not saying go buy a ranch, go buy 30 acres, put outdoor showers, and put a big stone as the thing to stand on in your shower and all these little pebbles, river rock all around. What I am saying is it's just find 5 minutes to just go. And if you can, put your phone down. When you understand the power of what EMF is, the electromagnetic frequency, when you understand what's bombarding us, do you understand what's coming through us? Wi-Fi and all of this stuff? Not saying I'm not going to do without it. I'm not saying you need to go back to, let's go do smoke signals and tin cans with ropes between them. What I am saying is get your feet on the ground. There's a natural resonance that your body needs to operate at. How many of you understand pH? How many of you years ago, your parents didn't understand pH? They never talked about pH. But how many of you drop a pH in the chat if you know about pH and you know about alkaline, you know about acidic, and you know that you should eat better, and you know that you should have a more alkaline food? Okay, so now after thousands of years, we finally realize, okay, maybe, well, they were eating right. They ate the berries, they ate the fruit, they were in a ketogenic state. Their body was in ketosis because they didn't have all of the carbs. They were running, and they had to do this and store fat. And that's why the body stores fat, because it's such a precious commodity, all of that stuff. And now we got to get healthier. Now we got to get we need to eat better. We got to eat blueberries for our brain. We got to eat this. We got to drink alkaline water. All valid. But you know what the next 100 years is going to be? What's the frequency in your house? Like you can go in and you can adjust the temperature in your home. There's going to be a frequency because of sun's solar flares and a variety of things. There's going to be this is me being a Buck Rogers. There's going to be a thing where you can adjust the frequency, you can adjust the vibration, the earthness in your home based upon solar flares that are coming. Solar flares are happening more often. And there's going to be some that come through, and when they come through, it's going to wipe out all of the technology. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. All I'm saying is that between now and then, when all of that catastrophe happens, get your feet on the ground. The expansion that you need, the expansion that you want, that missing link that you're looking for, I promise you, one of the chains, one of the sides of that missing link is you getting your feet on the ground. Go look at the movie, the Earthing movie. Look at the research, look at the science. And the reason nobody talks about it is because it's not a script. It's not about motivation. It's not about inspiration. It's what can I do? How much can I really make by telling you to go watch the Earthing movie? It's not part of my mastermind program. Listen, you'll take my mastermind program when you get grounded. You just will. You'll see things different. You'll hear things different. Things will sound better. Things will sound amazing. You'll realize the power and the energy you have. So anybody who's in a dis-ease needs to get their feet on the ground. Anybody who's out of sorts needs to get their feet on the ground. What happens when most people, listen carefully, what happens when most people get frustrated, aggravated, agitated? I'm going for a walk. That's the body saying, I need to get out of this energy. I'm going for a drive. It's the body needing to get out of this energy. You can't stand the frustration, the aggravation, the agitation. But here's my question to you. If you come back 2 hours later or 2 days later and the argument is no longer the argument, don't you think the energy is still there? Do you still have the memory? Could you get yourself fired back up? Could you get yourself as mad again? If just thinking about that argument that happened a week ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Well, they should forgive me. And I don't care who's forgiven who. I'm talking about the energy that's balled up inside you. Do you think that's healthy for you? Do you think that's good for you? Just saying. Pay attention to the things that are not serving you, and you'll wind up realizing how much disservice you're doing to yourself. Get your feet out on the ground, not in shoes. Shoes are not the thing. Shoes are not the thing. Listen, could you imagine? How many of you have ever had the plug? I don't know where there's a plug around me. But when you get the plugs these days and they have the little white protectors on it, and it keeps everything square from being scratched because they get folded over in shipping or this, that, or the other. Could you imagine trying to plug that in? Could you imagine how many customer service calls the company would get if that plastic cover was still on the plug? And they'd say, well, have you turned the machine on? Yes, I've turned the machine on. Have you turned the dial? Yes, I've turned the dial. Have you adjusted the? Yes, I've adjusted it, but there's no energy there. There's no power there. And did you plug it in? I've tried to plug it in, but I can't get it in the plug. I can't get it connected. I can't get it connected. Worse, you take the cover off, you plug it in, and you cut the cord. Yes, it's plugged in. Well, geez, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why it's working. Have you checked the cord? The cord is fine. It's wonderful. It's perfect. It's from the wall to here. It goes that far. And from there, what do you mean from there? Yeah, I cut the cord. I cut the energy. I cut the power to it. And that's what we've done with shoes and with energies and with cell phones and computers and monitors and screens and blue screens and black screens and white screens and blue light. And we wear glasses. How many of you wear blue blockers? How many of you know about blue blockers? Drop a B in the chat if you know about blue blockers and you wear things or you've done things to protect your screens from the electrons coming to you. See, you're getting fed enough information to make some wildly smart choices for yourself. The challenge is you might not, you could not, maybe you're not connecting the dots. If you're all worried about blue screen and blue light and turning your phone off an hour before bed, why have you turned off your connection to the earth for the last 20, 30 years? You feel better when you walk around barefoot. Yeah, but I got to do my toes. So addiction to approval. I got to do my, yeah, but I got scraggly feet. So what? I bet your scraggly feet won't be so scraggly if you get them in the earth. Cover them up. Go sit in a hole. Cover your feet up. Going, oh, in my eye. We want more, but we have no power for more. We're not recharging our batteries for more. It can't be that simple. My mentor would say, you're right, I'm rich. Let's move on. All of these ancient ways and the Eastern ways and all of this stuff and the craziness and the well, that was primitive when they would walk barefoot. Okay. You feel better when you get your feet on the ground. I love shoes. I love shoes. I got some crazy ass shoes. But boy, when I can go barefoot, walking around out here, standing on the stones, I love the fact that I get to have the ranch and I get to bring people out to the ranch and I get to sit their butts and their feet and their feet. I get to sit their butts. Why isn't it feet? Why do we say feet? I get to set their butts and their feet on these stones that have millions of years of stories inside of them. We get to go just walk. We get to go play in water. We get to go play in just joy and stuff. But getting them to walk around, and you'll see them though. You're instinctively taking your feet off, your shoes off to walk barefoot. Yeah. So here's my expansion lesson for you for today. Go take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Go put them on the grass. Go find some grass somewhere. And if you can't find grass within your normal environment, please make a trip. And you're going to have to do it more than one day. You'll feel good, the environment. You'll feel a little odd. You'll feel a little self-centered. You'll feel a little bit self-conscious. Nobody else is taking their shoes off. Well, they're all idiots too. And you just decided to step out of the pack for a second. But you're a misfit. Just you don't always have to fit in everywhere, but you do have to fit in your dreams. Does that make sense? So that's my conversation for you this morning. Go ground. Learn about Google grounding. Ask my cousin. Say, hey, listen, Sean's cousin, Google. Hey, can you tell me about grounding? Tell me about the earthing movie. I promise you, your eyes will be opened wide. Your spirit will be, and listen, there's going to be a calling. You're going to be like, you're drawn. I want to go do that. I got to go do that. Yes, you will be drawn to go do that. So happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. Have an incredible grounding kind of day. And we'll see you all tomorrow. We will have -2 degrees is what they're estimating here for this part of Arkansas, the coldest weather in decades. So that'll be awesome. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to that. And I appreciate you all showing up. I hope you have an incredible, absolutely amazing kind of day. And yeah, go get grounded. And just look at all of the things that are influencing your energy systems, right? If somebody can walk in the room, and change the way you feel, don't we also look at screens and they change the way we feel? But that's what's on the screen. What's coming off of the screen is changing the way we live. The energetic, the electrons, the protons, the croutons, the neutrons, all of that stuff. So I love you tons. I am your head grounding training misfit. I'll see you all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, everybody. Love you, Instagram. Till tomorrow. Bye for now. And YouTube, you're the best. Go ground yourself. Get your butt on the ground. Get your feet on the ground. If you can lay down on the ground, even better. I love when the puppies are out there. I go lay down all the time. Yeah, I did say croutons. I usually see if somebody's paying attention. Electrons, protons, neutrons, croutons, whatever, all of that energy stuff. So I love you tons.